Welcome back to Empire of Rust, the Transformers Renegade RPG edition. This is episode 4 of our one-shot series. 4 episodes, one shot? That's a trick shot right there, isn't it?
Short for
that sounds like it sums up my math skills pretty well.
One. Because I remember the previous one shot was like 8 parts or something like that.
If this is the Transformers podcast, it should be a 6 shot.
I am joined by the humorous Brandon.
Hey, it's a me.
Cracking up the 6-pack of jokes. I am joined by the pun-filled, puntastic Matthew.
Oh, hello. Nice to be here. Happy to... Excuse me. Pardon, I'll see myself out.
And the illustrated and indomitable, and sometimes even illustrious, Dr. Pence.
That's a whole lot of really big words. Thanks, Mike.
What, you got a word a day calendar there, Mike? May is the month of I words.
I think I need to add just a bunch of letters after your name. I mean, you're a doctor after all, so you know I am.
PhD TF.
Just PhD I.
Yeah. I to the third power. I cubed. Oh.
Okay.
This
is getting too difficult.
That's a math joke.
This is too big brain for right now.
That's a math joke. I don't even have Pat here to do it. It's a math joke. All right. We have one hell of an episode, and I think, and I'm sorry, but I think this is going to be the last episode of this one shot.
Oh.
All good things must come to an end, gentlemen.
I really like these characters.
Likewise.
But that's okay, because we have one humdinger of an episode.
Oh no, Matt's dying. That's the humdinger.
I killed Matt with my words.
That's the twist.
Isn't that what a GM does? Kill their players with their words?
Too bad my word a day calendar didn't include CPR. Ooh.
That's an acronym.
You
okay?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Okay, jeez.
Hey, breathe in for
We're making jokes. Meanwhile, he's literally dying.
All right.
We almost murdered Adam with the joke many years ago. He was coughing for like literally 10 minutes. It was the infamous inhaling the Coke episode. Not online. It was tabletop, but
The drink. Don't worry, guys. The drink.
definitely the drink.
I feel like just because it's Adam, though, there's a cocaine bear joke in there somewhere.
All right. So before Matt dies anymore, let's go ahead and jump right into this action-packed episode. When last we left, you just heard from Optimus Prime. Where the hell did Optimus Prime come from? Isn't he dead? Oh, Jesus. Space Jesus. Anyway, he gave you a mission. He wants you to get Perceptor off planet, get to Cybertron, and, get him set up. Just make certain that he has the facilities he needs to start synthesizing a cure, or just working towards a cure for the hate plague. He gave you a couple options. He said you can check on Omega Supreme, and if Omega Supreme was uninfected, you guys need to get him off the planet, because you can imagine what an infected, rage-infested Omega Supreme would do.
We've already got Superion apparently infected and running amok.
Yep. And, or you can stick around to Mission City and try to see if there's a ship here that you can take. Let me ask all of you, what do you want to do?
That's a good question. I guess first question, after we've gotten our directive from Optimus, has Perceptor and I finished attaching my new filthy Decepticon leg?
Absolutely.
I'm sort of testing it out, just sort of like making some judgments in my head about Decepticon ghost style and what have you. I was like, these rims are way too shiny. Like, what the hell? We're supposed to be robots in disguise.
It is the wrong color, and you think that every couple of
Probably
tries,
purple.
it tries to kick kickstart.
No, that's the leg. Sorry. Yeah.
Kickstart's like, don't start anything.
It's called Phantom Con syndrome. I've heard about this before. But now that I'm at least up and moible, I guess we got to decide if we want to try to find Omega Supreme. Would we have known if Frontline, our leader, had any sort of ships on by that were space worthy? Is that something that's more common? I guess I'm just trying to figure out like our chances of finding a space worthy vessel here in Mission City versus finding Omega Supreme. On the other hand, if we find Omega Supreme and he's not infected, that's great because we get to prevent him from getting infected. If he's already infected, finding him is bad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're close. We're right here at the city. So if we fail to find a ship here, that would be plan B.
Just the more time we spend running around, it's been like a week now of Hate Plague. I'm super worried about coming across some more infected Cybertronians. Like, humans is one thing. Coming across Superion would be real bad. I'm trying to think, like, which is the most direct route to success. So, yeah. Do I think it's reasonable that, like, is there, like, a space station here? This is in, like, in the future of 2006. Like, is there a spaceship? Or, like, did we have something, like, at base?
Go ahead and give me a culture check or a technology check to do some research. Culture check is to kind of just think about whether what's in the city, and a technology check is to research and to see if you can locate any information on that.
Sure. I will access the local computers and see if I can do a technology check to search and see if I can find anything in data logs on space-worthy vessels in Mission City. So I got a D6 in technology.
Do it.
Let's see. It's a 7 on the die plus 5 for 12.
Okay. Anyone else doing anything?
I cannot do either.
What?
But I'm
Yeah,
going to
I can't do
radio
either.
catapult when we get a chance.
Ooh, that's a good call.
Okay.
Kickstart is actually just kind of standing there in awe of the fact that he just talked to Optimus Prime, and Optimus Prime knows who he is.
Hell yeah.
So whatever the Transformer equivalent of crapping your pants is, he's kind of done that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dropping his exhaust port, as it were.
All these nuts and bolts on the ground. Where they come from?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right, Harness. Yes, you go ahead and you do some research on the city and try to get into its database, and you are successful.
Right.
So Mission City does have a port that doubles as both an ocean-going port for seaworthy vessels and a spaceport for spacefaring vessels. And as you pointed out, yes, it is the future, and you know that organizations like Earth Defense Command have actually they have starships available to them, and not only that, but some scientific organizations as well as businesses and corporations will also have some ships available to them. So you think that there is a very good chance of finding a space-worthy vessel at Mission City Port. It is likely going to be a freighter of some kind, used for hauling goods, if anything is there.
Right. And then, based on that search, where is that spaceport in relation to our current position in terms of like what is our route to get there, and like because if it's super long, that's scary because going through the city, highly populated, hate and plague sort of thing.
Certainly. Under normal circumstances, it would probably take 20 to 30 minutes to drive there. And just like you set up a course to get to the garage here from your headquarters, you can also plan out a route that avoids any potential population areas, and you can also have Sockwith kind of do the same thing, where he was scouting around in the sky,
Right.
keeping an eye for any threats.
Mhm.
So you
And
don't
then-
anticipate it be too much of a problem to get to the port.
Gotcha. So, assuming nothing goes wrong, which I never assume, it could be pretty good. But then, what is our... sorry for all the questions. Our current
worries.
location in relation to Omega Supreme's last known location to the south of the Ark's former position.
Okay, Mission City would be on the west coast of the United States, so it's going to be a couple of hour drive in order to get to that location. But you do believe that, like, once you get out of the major population areas, especially out of Mission City, the odds of running into humans and other Transformers drops drastically, just simply because the population just isn't there. And you might even like run into uninfected like pockets of human population somewhere as you're heading through Northern California and into Oregon.
Yeah, so that's really the choice that we have, is like risk the quicker turnaround to get into a vessel, but the risk of running into infected here in the city, or a longer trip to get to Omega Supreme, not knowing if he's there, but it might be safer but longer. I will sort of present what I've found to the group. Harness, I've lost a leg recently. My social is not super high, so I don't know if he really voices an opinion. He just sort of expresses the objective facts. He's like, look, this is what we got. I don't know what to do here. You tell me what to fix, I'll fix it. Right now, this is a problem and I don't know what the tool is to do about it. What do you guys think?
I think we need to go find Omega Supreme. I mean, yes, he may be infected, but it's important that we find him and get him off-world, because if he's not infected, leaving him here could spell the destruction of so many humans and so many other Cybertronians from the time it takes us to get to Cybertron to get the cure. We cannot let that happen. There's already been lives lost because of this, and we can't let any more humans, Cybertronians, any other sentient beings die because of this plague. We have to do everything we can. This is on us.
I would agree with you. I mean, normally I would say, regardless of the risk, we should try to check the local location first, but finding Omega Supreme is probably important enough on its own to be attempted, regardless. So,
Any Soich here in the city also risks being detected by the infected. And if any of them are Cybertronians, that's some rust that takes a while to scrape off. If you know what I'm saying.
does Perceptor have an opinion?
Our science is my forte, not tactics. While I believe I am a capable shot in a fight, I don't believe any particular course of action to be inherently better or worse than the other.
Well, I think the kid convinced me. If we want to put it to a vote, we can, but I'm with Kickstart.
I'm with Kickstart
Go
too.
for
He
Omega
made
Supreme.
a good case.
Okay.
What do you think, Pommel?
Pommel thinks what I tell him to think.
Pommel just says, I want to bust in some Deceptor chops.
Yes. Well, if you're real lucky, we'll find some non-infected Decepticons on the way, and you can hit them.
I do have a question for Perceptor.
Yes, my young friend.
Perceptor, in any of your research, I know we don't have a cure, but is there anything you found that we may be able to do to ourselves, or may be able to do to, say, Pommel, that would help protect from the hate plague, where I could still utilize him if need be as a weapon, or we could utilize our own weapons without being infected, or at least reduce the chance of being infected?
While I was speaking with Optimus, he said he coated himself in a heat-resistant metal. Can your companion do anything like that? Can he change his molecular or atomic structure?
No. Not on his own, but like,
I
mean,
might be able to help with that.
Maybe there's something
I
here.
could potentially make, if heat is the issue here? That Perceptor, is that what you said? Is that Optimus will be able to coat himself in like a heat protective layer?
A heat and radiation resistant layer. It seems that this plague has a lot in common with spores and fungus along with the radiation they emit. It's still going to be difficult to prevent it, but I think the key thing is to prevent anything from coming into contact with Pommel. And with that in mind, if you can make an electromagnetic generator and attach that to Pommel, you might be able to create an electromagnetic field around the blade that would keep a few microns distance. And that would prevent anything from touching the blade.
I think I might be able to put something together. And Harness is going to sort of look around at the garage, the parts. He's like, I got stranded on junk once when I was in my younger days. I learned to make do with what I've got. Between you and me, Perceptor, I think we might be able to put something together. Not for all of us, but at least for Kickstart, to keep Pommel and him safe. So with my constructability, I could conceivably create an armor upgrade to create an energy resistor armor upgrade for Kickstart. And with the knowledge that Perceptor has of the Hate Plague, could we make it a energy resistor armor upgrade for the Hate Plague?
I'm okay with that.
Are there any it wouldn't like resist any sort of like other damages, but like.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any mufflers in here, like car mufflers? Well,
yeah,
car mufflers are made out of heat-resistant metal, so.
Yeah, we could take that and use it.
It's true. What I'll say is, not to belabor the point, but you guys can, grab as much like scrap material as you can carry, and if you want to, like as you're driving northwards, you can start to.
Mm-hmm. I can make it as an action. As an action, I can use my constructability as a gadgeteer to try to quickly MacGyver something together.
Okay.
Can we also generate energon tools?
Yeah, I can also use an energon point. Yeah, for energon tools. That's yeah, we could use that as well.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and give me a technology test.
All right. So I think this still falls under machinist since I'm creating or upgrading Cybertronian technology. So that'll be Edge plus D6. Can Perceptor help me for an upshift?
Yes, let's put something together. I will give you a hand.
All right. So we're gonna upshift. Do we potentially? So I'll pitch this to you, GM, but you can say no if you want. Can we get an upshift for being in a old mechanics garage that has lots of spare parts? Or
not an upshift. I will give you an edge for that because that is more circumstantial rather than planning.
I've already got an edge from my machinist perk, so that's okay.
Double edge.
What I can do is
that's a good transformer name.
Energon point. Double edge. Oh, that is a great name.
Oh, I should have named Pommel that. That would
hold on to that. Oh, that is great. I will spend an Energon point to upshift again.
Okay.
So let me mark that on my character sheet, and then this is important, and I think so. I'm going to spend. We've got two. I think only one story point actually now at this point. I'm going to spend another story point to make this roll as if specialized, just to make sure. Well, actually, hold on. An energy resistor is limited, which is, I believe, a difficulty test of 10 to hit. So maybe I'll save the story point, because that's actually not too hard for me to hit with an edge and a D10 skill die. So we'll see what we do. All right, here we go. Ooh, that's good. That is a 23 to make energy resistor armor for you.
That's pretty high for this system.
Yeah. I rolled a 10. Oh, I rolled a 10 on the D10. Because I rolled a 13 on the die and then a 10, so that's a critical success.
Nice. Okay.
Yes!
Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll say that you are able to create a device that effectively creates like an energy field around Pommel's blade. I am going to roll a dice here, and that's going to determine how many hits Pommel can take before the field starts to give out.
Cool. Okay.
4.
I'll take it. Four hits with Pommel, that's huge. The damage he can put out.
It's 12 damage.
Yeah.
Huge amount.
So yeah, you can get 4 hits with Pommel before the field starts to give out.
16 if they're using evasion.
Ooh, that's true. Yeah, you deal extra damage because of the fire.
Okay. All right,
Awesome.
let's do this. So after you create some technology to help you out, the lot of you start to transform, roll out, and get on the highway heading north out of the city. You come.
Sorry, quick clarification with the 4 hits. Is it 4 hits in general or 4 hits against something that's infected?
I get something that's infected.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. And then question for me: Perceptor's alt mode is still a microscope.
Yep, he can fit into any one of you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so he can hop into since Kickstart has the energy resistor shield, we'll have I guess him ride in Kickstart's alt mode. That makes most sense, I think.
Well, who has a closed compartment? I have an open canopy, and I think
I have a closed compartment.
Motorcycle does too.
Oh, that's true. Yes, I have the closed cab, so I'll yeah, he'll hop into my box cab Isuzu truck mode, and yeah, we'll.
I can just imagine Perceptor at the bottom of a gully. We fill up. Guys, are we there yet? Guys,
the wind in my head.
I can't see anything. There's mud on my lens.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we'll hit the road.
Good. You get onto the highway, and first off, you fly over the highway. Since you are
the air out here again.
Nice.
Since you get onto Highway 4, you actually make some pretty fast progress out of the city. You're avoiding any population areas, so you're just zoom right over them. And within about 10-15 minutes, you've cleared the city limits because there's no traffic or anything, so you're just cruising down the highway. And you start making your way north through Northern California and into Oregon. It takes hours to make the trip north into the Oregon Badlands from Mission City on the coast. And you arrive at the last known location of Omega Supreme. It is about 300 miles southeast of Mount St. Hilary, and this is where he has traditionally been stationed ever since he arrived on Earth years and years ago. You pull up into this open area, and, well, you find it empty. No vegetation, no animals, nothing. Just a large indentation on the ground where the enormous Autobot used to be. There's some low hills around that he had used as just visual cover. So it's kind of like in this almost like narrow canyon, not so much canyon, but kind of like this bowl or depression in the ground. And yeah, nothing. Go ahead and give me a science or alertness roll.
Is there a specialization associated with this science roll?
We'll say radiation, energy readings, energon, anything that could detect energy.
Gotcha. All right. I'll roll as a specialized, but down at a D4. So I'll roll a D4 and a D2. See how we do.
Kickstart got an 8 and Pummel got a 16.
Man, Pummel's MVP.
I don't know how.
Yeah.
Kickstart's got the D6. Pummel's got a D2.
Pummel's gonna be this forsooth, my liege. Perhaps I should be the wielder, and you shall be the sword.
Tupper's got a 3 for alertness.
I got.
He's too busy telling the long-winded story he's been telling the entire time about. I remember flying over the battlefields before. We saw some mud, and then there was some brown mud, and then there was some green mud.
Can Perceptor assist me with my science test?
For an upshift, sure. Why not?
Sure. Let's see how we do. It may not help that much. Oh, it helped. 13 science test.
Okay. Harness, you pass. Pummel, you pass. Harness, you're picking up some strange energy readings from the area. It is directly in front of you in this kind of like open, empty area.
Mm-hmm.
Pummel, you are looking at this section here, this blank blank open area, and you see that the area has a localized heat shimmer effect, which is kind of unusual because the rest of the region doesn't.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so like I imagine Harness is actually, if Perceptor has like is in his microscope mode but large enough for me to use him, that we're sort of like using his like microscope to sort of like angle it in such a way that we're sort of scanning the area with his microscope mode. And I was just like, we're picking up some strange readings here, some weird radiation that shouldn't be here. What do you guys see?
What? We were looking?
I was reminiscing about dirt.
I'm just gonna circle over the big indentation. That's all.
Yeah.
Pommel waves his hands. He's like, it looks like there's some kind of like heat distortion, like right here where Omega Supreme should be.
Can Perceptor and I sort of like zero in our scan on where?
Hold on one second. Pommel, yeah, you're. So Pommel kind of walks up and he's like holding his hand around there.
Mm-hmm. Well, he doesn't like go up to touch it. He's just like indicating like it's here, kind of like miming that it's like.
Oh, okay.
In this general area.
All right.
Yeah.
Harness.
No. I'm not dumb enough to have any of my characters touch anything right away.
Yeah, especially in this mission. Yeah, if Pommel gestures in that area, I think Perceptor and I will work together to sort of like try to zero in where we're sort of examining scientifically and scanning using his.
Might be important, but I'm circling low over the indentations.
Well, Sopwith, since you said you're circling low, you circle down low over the indentation and boom, you hit something.
Ow.
Oh!
We're going down, chaps!
You hear a very large string of English curses.
Yeah.
Johnny
One
Kerr.
loud. His player one loud. Blimey!
Laggard!
Beans on toast.
Damn bastardization of the invisible. What is this?
Curse these invisible Nazis!
I found something!
Harness, Kickstart, you two can put two and two together that something is here and it is cloaked.
Now, Optimus is buzzing around the inside of the oval trying to get out. Bong, bong!
Yeah.
I say, help me, lads! I do believe you. That last conk on the head is deranged my senses.
Help. You okay there, buddy? You just relax and just.
No, there's something. There's. I can't get out.
Which Transformer can make themselves invisible? Was it Mirage or Hound?
Mirage.
Mirage can make himself invisible. Hound could make holograms outside of himself.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least in the cartoon. But if
with the right equipment,
Omega
somebody
Supreme
else
is here. Yeah, that's true. If Omega Supreme is here, we could try different comm channels.
Meg,
and
are
see if
you
any of
there?
them open. Yeah. I'll open comm channels. It's like, this is Hannes the Autobot calling out on all Autobot channels. Omega Supreme, are you there?
There's a brief pause, and the comm channel goes active.
Survivors, unexpected. Situation, dire.
Well, that's putting it mildly. We're here on orders by Optimus Prime. We have orders to take you and Perceptor off-world to Cybertron. Try to find a cure for this hate plague. But you are, mighty invisible right now. But I think we know that you're in this area. Do you think you might be able to decloak for us?
He doesn't decloak, but you do see kind of light start like a very thin line and then kind of opens up into a rectangle. So he's opened up his outer door and you can see the boarding ramp starting to come down and land at your feet.
Right.
Optimus Prime, alive.
Weez was surprised too, but it sounds like he was able to come back with some help from Skylink and a Quintesson, of all other things. But he has the Matrix. Unfortunately, Rodimus seems to have been infected by this plague, but at this point, I think we're all willing to go for any strand of hope that we can find. Do you mind if we come aboard, Omega Supreme?
Entry granted.
I will radio to Sopwith real quick. It's like, Sopwith, do you mind doing a quick perimeter, make sure we aren't being followed before we load up in here?
As soon as I figure out how to get out, old bean, I'll... bong, bong. I get some
Omega-
just go straight up.
Omega will turn on a couple of like lights around the interior so you can you can know where the sides are.
See, that's why you have these things, old sport. It's a hazard to an aircraft.
Kickstart night, I guess I will transform
all over the place.
Dead birds everywhere.
Invisibility useful. Sopwith confused.
Fair enough. He'll do a circle to make sure and up high so we can see if there's anyone else around.
Give me a
I'll pick
quick
up Perceptor and
alertness
go ahead.
test.
Yeah, because I've done so well on those so far.
Yeah, you have.
16.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, you do a quick loop around the outside of the kind of depression, and yeah, it doesn't look like anything is around. You do see a just occasional wildlife, a couple of birds here and there, but otherwise it looks like it's clear.
Are they angry birds?
We don't talk about the collaboration.
No, I mean, are they rage birds?
Oh, nice.
No. Oh, no, you're good.
Birds.
All right,
I will
land
pick up
and go inside.
Perceptor. Yeah, I'll pick up Perceptor in microscope mode and transform into my tow truck. So he's inside the cabin. I will drive towards the entrance.
Okay.
All right, I'll go.
And I will. I'll stay in bot mode, and I'll have Pommel become the sword, and I'll keep an eye out behind us just to make sure nothing pops up, nothing else is cloaked, and I'll follow in behind everybody else.
Sure thing. Okay. Yeah, you guys get into Omega Supreme, and he brings up the boarding ramp and then closes the door. You head on over to like the cabin of his rocket mode, and he'll ask you.
Orders. Evacuation.
Yes, indeed. That's
Yes.
what Mr. Prime ordered. He says that if we can get Perceptor off planet, he can have the materials he needs to get a cure, and he doesn't because he thinks that he's afraid it's going to end up on Cybertron soon anyway.
Go ahead and this can be a group effort if you'd like. Give me a persuasion test.
Ooh. Yeah. Do any of us have ranks in persuasion? I think
I
you
do.
do. Yeah.
I do.
I don't have ranks in it, so I don't think I can assist in this.
I can assist someone. I have a D2.
Nice.
I've got a D4, so if you want to up,
I'll up
Yeah.
ship.
And then does Pommel had intimidation, not persuasion.
yes.
If you think there's another skill that could be useful in this situation, go ahead and let me know, and we can potentially use that as well.
Just play back the recording we got from big old OFP.
Okay.
I don't know if I have that saved anywhere, but we could if that's an option.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with you saying that. I mean, you guys are super advanced alien robots, so I imagine that if you want to show a recording of a screen, that you can do that easy enough.
Yeah.
And that can be your assist.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
We can do that. That can count for Perceptor and I suppose.
Then that upshifts me to a D8, so
Nice.
let's give this a shot.
Do you want to burn the story point to roll as if specialized?
Yes.
This feels like a pretty impactful roll.
Yes.
I think this is our last story point for now until we gain another one.
All right.
Unless I miscounted.
I think you're correct.
Real quick, this may be this. I'm assuming like we're just trying to convince Omega Supreme to go along with us and give us good reason. Is it because he's scared at all? Is he frightened?
Ooh.
I
You don't
sincerely
believe so.
doubt it.
You don't believe so. You probably think that his last orders were simply to remain here on sentry duty, and you're effectively, instead of getting his order from someone that he knows, he's getting his order from someone saying that they got the orders from him.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Try and convince him of our authenticity.
Yeah, so we'll burn a story point to specialize it. And you know what? I'm going to burn one energon point to upshift me once more to the D10.
Let's do it.
Good call. This seems pretty pivotal, so I would say that now's the time to use these.
Yeah. Did I crit anywhere? No. 15. That's the highest I got. Because you just pick the highest of the dice when you're specialized,
Yeah,
right?
the highest of the skill die added to your...
Are any of them max die?
No, none of them are max.
Well, 15 it is then.
Yeah.
15's not bad in this system.
No, it's not.
So we'll have to see what old GM says.
Orders understood. Preparations for departure complete.
As you are looking around, you'll see warning lights come on in Omega's cabin, his rocket cabin. It looks like he is preparing to take off. You might want to get to seats and get yourself strapped in.
Harness will quickly put a hand on Kickstarter, so it's like, well done, kid.
Thank you.
If he takes off, is it just the rocket bit, or is he going to transform and take his whole self off?
I don't fucking know. It depends on the episode.
Because he's supposed to
leaves that little track, and we mid-flight, and a I hate plague person touches his little track that goes around his rocket.
The little tank drives around futilely because he can't get to anyone. Because
I do a quick lap on the little track because I've always wanted to. I will get to it.
It's a strange thing because it always depended on the episode. Like he would take off, you'd see his rocket, and then he'd land rocket only, and all of a sudden he just transforms back into his full mode. I think for this, it'll be his full self. We don't have to worry about that.
Okay, I just figured it might serve another purpose if he wants to stay at base and just be a rocket. That would probably be the use case there. So.
Yeah, we'll get the seats, and I'll strap myself in it anyway.
Okay. Inside Omega Supreme, you brace yourselves for a departure fraught with urgency and tension. The atmosphere within the colossal Autobot Guardian is heavy with a mix of relief, anxiety, and a somber reflection on the devastated planet that you're about to leave behind. As Omega Supreme's systems come online, the entire structure begins to vibrate subtly as a sign of the immense power building up. You secure yourselves, feeling the deep, resonant thrum of the engines growing stronger. The lights flicker briefly before stabilizing, bathing the interior in a cool, steady glow. The sound of Omega Supreme's engines igniting is like a deep, guttural growl resonating through every bulkhead and floor plate. The ground beneath Omega shudders as his massive thrusters fully ignite. A tremendous roar fills the air, drowning out all other sounds. The immense upward thrust pushes you all into your seats as the colossal Guardian lifts off, tearing free from the grip of the plague-ridden Earth. Through the narrow viewports, you watch as the ground rapidly recedes, the infected landscape shrinking and fading into the distance. You all take a moment to reflect. Mission accomplished. That is, until Omega Supreme is rocked by weapons fire. Roll for initiative.
Oh, no! Let's go!
God damn it.
Oh, what a bait and switch. Oh, no.
I was waiting for it.
Double crit.
Oh, nice.
24.
I got a 6.
Nowhere near double crit.
That's
I got a 12.
That's not bad. It's not bad at all.
Not bad. It's not bad for not having ranks in initiative.
Yeah.
Sopwith, you are leading us off. And as soon as Omega is shot, warning lights pop on his cabin, and a couple of screens turn on, indicating where the shot came from, and trying to track the threat that is in the air with him right now. As you look at the screen, you can see that there is a small green UFO targeting Omega right now, and it seems to be on a collision course with him.
No.
And as you're looking at the screen, you can clearly see that it is glowing an angry red.
Alright. Man. Oh, Cosmos. Barely knew ye. Alright,
Poor
well,
bastard.
Are you trying to...
What?
I was gonna say, are you trying to tell me that Cosmos is gonna take down Omega Supreme?
He doesn't have to take him down, he just has to hit him.
Yeah.
Oh, he has to touch him.
The aggression is not reasonable. No one...
No.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Now, I will give you a couple of little pieces of information here. So, you are still in the atmosphere right now. So, you can aid Omega in avoiding Cosmos if he tries to collide with them. You can try to help Omega shoot his weapons, but bear in mind that Omega only has he's not really a combat vessel. He has one big super laser that's forward facing, so that's going to be a little hard to find. You either have to wait for Cosmos to actually be in range for him and in that spot, or you can try to have someone help fly Omega to the correct kind of position, and then someone help shoot. The other option is, you can get up, go to the door. Omega will open it up for you, and then just try to take some shots out at him. And then, if there's anything else that you can think of to try. Those are the kind of obvious options, but whatever else you want to go with. So, Sopwith, go ahead, lead us off.
All right. I'm gonna run to the door, pop it open, jump out,
Tally ho!
transform into the airplane.
No
All right.
hesitation, just yeets himself out of the moving spaceship. Love it.
I'll radio these guys. Part of what I'm going to try to do is get him in front of that laser cannon, or at least get him away from Omega, by any means I can. So I will be attacking him, but keep an eye out for a shot.
Yeah.
All right. I am going to fly, power fly right at him and spray him with a machine gun, and then I'm going to turn and go fly up Omega Supreme and fly out beyond the nose cone. I'm going to try to get him to follow me. So hopefully if I hit him, that might get his aggression redirected.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
Does the transformation in this instance count for the alt spark, where we get to transform into alt mode for free?
Yeah.
Because otherwise, transformation would be a standard action, I think, to convert.
Yeah, I'm perfectly okay with that.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I'm used to being able to do it as part of the move.
The idea of Omega Supreme getting infected with hate plague while we're inside is horrifying.
Yeah. He no doubt has heat shielding because he's a rocket. So hopefully,
hopefully
his brawn is pretty big.
Is high enough where he maybe doesn't get changed right away. We maybe have a chance, but we'll see.
He's got to have pretty good brawn given his size. I hope not.
Yeah.
That is a 16, and it is a crit. Double crit.
Oh, wow. I also just switched you guys over to a map so you can actually see the battle playing out here.
Nice. Can't believe we're fighting Cosmos. That's so depressing.
No. Everybody likes Cosmos.
What has this world come to? We have to fight this good, round, green boy.
Let's see here. 16 is... Oh, it is really, really close. But it is not enough to hit.
No.
Very close. But before we finish up this round, I will say that I need to give you guys a story point for that excellent convincing Omega to do what he needs to do. So you do have an extra story point for that. Good job there. Good job, Kickstart. You did good, kid.
Thanks.
All right. Well, after I shoot at him from sort of the longest of my range, I'm going to fly up, giving a good deal of space between me and Omega Supreme, but try to get him in sort of into the firing cone of that rocket up top. If I'm even able to fly fast enough to get up to there. So,
will the miss count for your covering fire?
Yes,
first?
it does. I was about to say so. Yeah. So
Yeah.
the next attacks, next round, if he makes attacks, they're going to be snagged. So.
Nice.
Okay, that's good to know. You're on the map there, so you can move yourself wherever you wanted to end up.
Oh. All right. Now is this up and down? Go up.
Yeah, we'll say that Omega is shooting heading upwards. Okay, so it is Cosmos's turn, and what we'll do is
Ugly-looking salad plate, you. We wore you on our head last, 100 years ago.
Cosmos is going to try and take a shot at Omega Supreme. And you said he is going to do it at a snag now because of your ability? Okay. It's a really cool ability. You still give a snag, even if it's
Yeah. Covering fire.
Shooting is worth it whether you hit or not.
Probably going to be a miss. That is an 8. Is that right? Oh, geez, wow, it is right. That's an 8. That is not going to be a hit on Omega. Even with the obvious size difference, it's still not going to be enough on that. So,
Quick question, Mike.
Yes.
You were using evasion for Cosmos?
yes, I was.
The ballistic weapons require evasion as the
Oh,
they can't
okay.
choose they can't choose like toughness, I don't think, unless they're.
I think it depends on the range. I think if you're at the outer range of your attack with a ballistic weapon, then it has to be evasion. I think if you're within the normal
I
range.
think all ballistic weapons. I think it's in the gunner origin.
Oh, is it in gunner?
I
Nice.
think it's in gunner. I'll double check while we're off, but I think they need
Sure.
evasion.
Yeah.
Unless I think maybe if they're surprised. So.
Okay. Let's see here. Cosmos is. Let's see. What's he gonna do? Is he gonna go after you, Sopwith, or is he gonna go after Omega? You know what? I'm gonna give it a roll here. What's good for you guys? High or low?
Hi.
Rolled an 8 on that one, so he is going low. He's going to go after Omega again. He is going to fly down, and he's going to attempt. He's going to attempt to kind of get behind him, start shooting him from there. Okay. All right, that's his move.
Don't want.
I know. Kickstart.
So just a quick question. The squares on this map are normal squares, correct? Like they count for the normal range and everything?
I will, let you kind of do whatever the range is normally on this one. Just because like the scene is gonna be so big, then you're gonna be like flying around everything. So I'm not gonna worry about range increments on this one.
Because I'm assuming with him being behind Omega, we don't have a clear shot with Omega's laser cannon, do we?
Correct. You're gonna have to get him like right up front, or turn Omega to shoot at him.
Quick thing. I looked it up, and what I said was exactly opposite. Looking at the weapons section, and I think that's pretty much what Brandon was saying. Ballistic weapons automatically affect toughness against targets at long range, unless the target is behind cover. And I'm assuming at short range, it's toughness or evasion like usual. So
Good to know.
most of my shots are going to be long range. But all right.
Would anybody be opposed to me getting outside Omega and swiping at Cosmos with Pommel?
It would be amazing.
It would be pretty cool. It'd be pretty swashbuckling.
Arr. You gotta borrow his peg leg.
This is a pretty epic maneuver if you hit him there.
If you might want to take something to tether yourself. If you want to take my tow hook and cable and latch it, like tie yourself to Omega
There you
first,
go.
and then that might take the first turn to sort of attach yourself, but that way you don't get thrown off.
I mean, that's all dependent on what Mike counts that as.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get probably a move action at most.
Brendan, if you want to take your move action next turn to give him the to effectively give him your tow cable, I am willing to let him do it this turn.
Sure. Yeah, I will sacrifice my move on the next turn to detach my tow hook cable to give him the length of cable with the hook that he can use to fasten to himself.
Okay. Then I fasten myself, and I'm gonna go outside Omega, get to the back, and let's do a mash shift to upshift my finesse, specifically sharp.
Nice. Cue Pirates of the Caribbean music as you jump out of the ship, swinging your sword.
And the fantastic part about this is I am specialized. I'm up to a D8,
Nice.
and Pommel gives me edge.
Damn.
So, for the love of God, please work. Oh, I have to roll this twice. 17 as the high one.
Nice.
17, and that is going to probably be against toughness, I imagine, because you're swinging a sword at it.
It's your
Yeah,
choice.
defender's choice.
Yep. Well, I chose toughness, and 17 is enough to hit his toughness. So go ahead and do your damage.
That's 3 sharp.
Damn, that's some good damage, man.
And rabbit attack.
Yeah.
Oh, and the mash shift lasts the entire
Holy
combat,
crap.
by the way.
Nice.
That's like a special resource you have as a mode master. That's dope.
I get 2 mash shifts per day. This is my last one for today, but
Yeah. This is the encounter to use it, I would say.
You pull out all the stops.
I do.
We're dealing with a named Autobot. We have to get to use it.
17. That was my high roll.
So same as before. Yeah, you hit him.
And that's 3 more sharp damage.
Did you hit max dice on any of your skill dice?
I did not,
Womp
unfortunately.
womp. That's alright.
Yeah.
All right, Cosmos is not looking too hot.
I was gonna say, I mean, based on what our health is, I can't imagine he has a whole lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably
I
more, but
would-
not a whole lot more.
I want you, Dr. Pants, to give me an acrobatics test.
I do have a little bit in this.
Does he get any bonuses for being tied to Omega with my cable?
Nope. This acrobatics test is to avoid his thrusters as you are dangling behind him and he's pulling you.
Just imagine getting
Also,
swung
that's
all the way
two
around to the front.
That's 2 hits down on the energy resistor armor on Palm.
Yeah, I kept track of that.
Cool. Awesome.
I've got that here. I'm gonna burn an energon point to upshift that to a D6.
Yeah.
Cool. Yep. Makes sense to me.
Ooh, yeah, 20.
Nice.
Great 20. Okay. Yeah, as you're swinging up behind him, instead of just dangling, what you're doing is like you're running and jumping like in a circle over those big orange claw things. Jump, and just as Cosmos is like flying by, you're like whoa, swing, and you just like smack it.
It's like Attack on Titan here. The cable and the
God, this
sword.
character ended up being way cooler than I ever intended.
Definitely good.
All right. That is definitely worth a story point. Congratulations.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Harness, you are up.
All right, so I've used my move action, so I can't do anything with there, but I'd like to make a quick either science or technology test. I guess it would be with you. I'd like to see if I can piece together, based on Omega Supreme's construction, if there's a way Perceptor and I can reroute power to his thrusters so that if we can't stop Cosmos, we can outrun Cosmos.
Okay.
It'll probably take my standard action, I think, to make this deduction. So next turn I can try doing it, and I can't move anywhere else to enact whatever I solve. So I'd like to make a test. I don't know if that would be a technology test in rocket surgery or engineering or that sort of thing, or
yeah.
or
If you have I think an engineering. Engineering or repair would probably be something like that, or a specialization that's pretty close to that.
Gotcha. I don't have any specialization in that. My only technology specialization is in explosives, so I don't have specialization in that. But is Perceptor able? Is Perceptor sort of aiding us, but not really in initiative? Is he able to assist me in this technology test?
Let's see here.
We put our heads together.
Actually, I'm going to say no, because actually a story reason why he would not be. We can talk about it afterwards, but
yeah,
it has
no
something
worries.
to do with the with Omega's cloaking field there.
Gotcha. All right. If that's the case, Harness is going to. We're going to burn another energon. I've got some extra as a scientist. So we're going to burn the energon for an upshift up to a D8, and we're going to make this technology test. Let's see if we can't figure out if there is a way to reroute power to try to outrun Cosmos. Ooh, that's not good. I got an 8 on the D8, but a 1 on the 20, so I'm going to burn that story point we just earned to re-roll that natural 1.
Okay, let's do it. You pull out all the stops.
That is considerably better. That's a 19 on the die, 8 on the D8 for a critical success of 27.
All right. Yes, you think you can. What I'll do is I'll give you the option. You can disable his weapons to increase his thruster speed. But I do want to point out as well that Kickstart is still behind him. So just be aware of that.
Yeah. Can I use a free action to radio on our comms and say, I'm going to try to reroute some power from the weapon to the thrusters. Kickstart, if you're anywhere near the rear end, you might want to move. And Sopwith, if you're outside, get inside, because if this works, we're going to be moving real fast. And I think that'll probably be my turn, unfortunately, since I've already used my move. So next turn, I will attempt that, so people can attack and then move or whatever. But yeah.
Okay.
So we've got 1 story point left, I think.
All right, that brings it to Sopwith. Start of round 2. What would you like to do?
That's a fun ride.
Alright, I'm going to dive and do a spiral around the rocket
Nice.
down towards Cosmos. And give him another shot there. I realized I forgot to roll half the dice I was supposed to last time, so that's true. There we go. So that is a 19.
Jolly good.
A 19 against
Toughness.
evasion. Against
Toughness.
toughness is also still a success.
Alright, it is 2 sharp damage.
Nice.
2 sharp damage against Cosmos. You see his thruster explode from the damage, and trailing a giant gout of black smoke, he starts to go down, and you can see the trail spiral down into the ocean.
Woo! Okay, we're good.
Nicely done.
I'm
Thanks.
so sad.
Thank Primus for the 6 damage that Kickstart just did to help make that
Yeah,
way more
definitely.
manageable. And I think hopefully landing in the ocean, hopefully Cosmos is defeated and not dead, because that would make me very sad.
Another rope and another electromagnet. All right.
Yeah.
It's thanks to you guys for making Pommel effective against 8 play.
So, yeah.
I will match speed with where Kickstart is, in case he needs aid getting back in. Presumably, that since there isn't a threat anymore, we can tone down the speed so we can catch up enough to get back in.
And,
now you're able to go faster.
Yeah.
And I'll hitch a ride on Sopwith. If you don't mind, I'll just grab onto your landing gear again. And
By all means. And I will fly him back up to the entrance.
The two of you get back inside, and Omega shuts his outer door. You get back, transform, get back into your seats, get sealed up, and yeah, thrusters go off even more, and you start to race out towards the upper levels of the atmosphere.
All right.
As you are exiting Earth space, all of you look out the windows to the side, and in the distance, the horizon is bathed in a soft, preternatural twilight, casting long, stark shadows over the terrain. A sudden and intense light bursts forth from the east in the direction of Autobot City. The light is a pure, brilliant, piercing through the darkness with a radiant intensity. It streams in broad, sweeping arcs, creating an ethereal glow that pulses and shifts as if alive. The beams of light stretch out like the tendrils of an immense celestial being, reaching outwards in all directions. The illumination is so bright that it almost seems to erase the boundaries of the horizon, blending sky and water into a single plane of radiant energy. And as the light intensifies, it begins to take on the hues of blue and white, swirling and coalescing into intricate patterns that dance and ripple through the air. The very fabric of reality seems to bend and warp, creating that hypnotic display. The light is clearly coming from the matrix of leadership, channeling the energy of the universe itself, manifesting it in a dazzling, cosmic spectacle. The sight is both beautiful and humbling, testament to the immense power and significance of the Matrix. Even from this distance, you can feel the waves of energy and the profound sense of purpose that emanates from this pivotal moment. As you look down, you can see Cosmos. He's still falling, but their red glow is no longer there.
Jeez. Poor guy.
Congratulations! You have successfully helped to stop the hate plague.
Woo!
And we will see all of you next time. Whatever that is.
Whatever that is.
Poor Cosmo gets shot down for 1 minute before being cured. Can you turn this thing around? Go grab him.
Yeah, pick up Cosmos. Take him for a nice oil change.
Thanks so much for joining me, you three. This was an absolute blast to play. I never got to actually run the Transformers RPG, and this is the second time I've actually had any experience with it.
Thank you.
Oh, this was an absolute blast. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for running it. It was great.
And thanks to everybody who's here. This was so much fun.
Yeah.
Anything you'd like to plug or to say before we head out? Dr. Pence, I think we'll go ahead and start with you since you're the most experienced hand with this.
Thank you. So thank you again to all of you guys. This has been an absolute blast, and I love to play this kind of stuff. But if you want to find me anywhere, you can go. If you're watching this on YouTube, there is a link right there below my name. If you're not, go find Nerdstradamus. We are mostly on YouTube, but we're found everywhere. It's me and my friends doing all kinds of dumb gaming and music and anime things. So come check us out. We stream, we post videos, TikToks, Twitter, all that stuff. Please please come watch us.
Definitely recommended.
Nice.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Matt approved.
Brandon, how about yourself?
Nothing to plug on my end except for keep listening to the Transmissions podcast and their YouTube channel. Empire of Rust comes out with episodes regularly, and Mike is kind enough to let me lend my voice to some of his NPCs, which I always have a blast doing. So stay tuned for upcoming episodes of Empire of Rust, and keep loving Transformers. It's a great time to be a Transformers fan. So, till all are one, everybody. Keep listening.
Yeah. And last but not least, Matt, what do you want to plug, huh? What do you got going on in your life that you want to tell the entire world about?
Well, Brandon already plugged the only thing I have to plug. I recommend that you not watch the video or listen to the podcast you just finished listening to. So go back and not do that, because I wasn't in it. Anyway, like I said, go listen to Empire of Rust. That's the only thing you should be listening to. Anyway, goodbye.
Also, I highly recommend Empire of Rust if you're not listening. Good Lord. It's so good.
Thank you.
All right. Again, thanks everyone for joining us. We will see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Farewell.
Later.